reason. Let's say we want it to be a little closer together. Not a problem. We can make it super close together if we want to. From there, you can also, if we want it to not be on a line, we want it to be like layered or on a box, we can do that. But let's say that these white spaces in between are too much. Not a problem. Go to spacing again, hit line spacing, and now we can bring it up nice and tight. Okay? So, just examples, things to be mindful of. Maybe this is what you're going for instead. And let's say like the letters aren't so defined, so you want to start, giving it a little different definition. You can go to effects, and let's say we want to give it a nice outline. Now we have an outline of our text, and it's something cool. I don't really like the spacing because the spacing is crunching some of the numbers. Not a problem. I can fix that with the spacing tool. We're going to open that up a smidge. There we go. Now we can see all the letters, but I kind of like it like that. Okay, so any other questions on lettering? Anything else we can do with lettering? There's advanced formatting if you have specific things. I actually don't know what typography is in here. Huh. Combine specific characters elegantly? All right, play with tools, guys. Press buttons, do the fun things. Refine letter spacing. Huh. Interesting. So you can play with all sorts of things. If you want to fade something, you can also use transparency. Transparency, how much or how opaque or transparent an lettering is, or your subject is, whatever you got. You can change the alignment as well. So you want it to be, just like you would in Word. Change it however you like, whatever makes sense.
For a second, huh?
Yeah, it can. It certainly can. If you same, if you guys need to underline stuff, same applies. If it's in a certain font, sometimes you can't use the bold, but again, it's Control B if it was available to us, Control I for italics if it was available to us. You have the strike through as well. You can use a strike through if need be. You can do all sorts in Canva. So there's our all underlined, all not underlined. You can also change it to uppercase, lowercase if the font allows. This one's bangers. It's always capitalized, so it's not going to help us here. And then those are effects. You can outline it. You can do all sorts of fun. You can make it a neon sign. You can make it glitch text. You can give it a shadow. I'm always a big proponent of giving a shadow or some lift. Now it looks like it's lifted off the background that it's on. Doesn't feel so flat now. Take that off. Show you with none. It's very, defined and flat. But yeah, do whatever you need to do to make it fit the design you're looking to fit. And then we have the animate button, which is also fun. This is going to make it a animated image though. So it's no longer going to be a 2D image. So if you do want something that moves, you certainly can make something that moves. Now, let's see if we can actually download it as a GIF without having to pay for downloading it as a GIF, because I know that might be a premium tool. Let's try something here. Let's use a typewriter. This is an example of text. You can also change the speed in which it types itself. This is an example of text. And this is an example of text. So yeah, change it how you need it, and how it makes sense. You can do it on the enter on both. That means it's gonna not just there's a play button here, so it's 10 seconds if we do it on both. But why is it showing me that? Because it's the top page. Well, bad. Let's take this. We're gonna copy it to a new Twitter post. Paste it. Yes, you can you can also take an image from one. You can copy it from this one, and you can open a new one, and you can put it on top. Or you can put it on a totally new project. So if you have two pages open and you don't want to mess with page 1, page 2, you can do that. But let's do this really quick. So this is 5 seconds of in. So it will stop here. And it goes away. Very nice. Okay, cool. Now, if we try to, just before we get all into it, let's try and download that So right now it's an MP4 video. Twitter will, like, once the video is over, restart the video, so it does kind of gifify things. But let's say you wanted to make it a GIF. Ah, it does let you. No. Let's see. Is that a premium? I don't know. Somebody who doesn't have premium, if they want to check that out, if they download it as a GIF, it's going to download it in a different format, but let's download that and I'll show you what it looks like. Then you can start putting it into Discord, into whatever, that allows for GIFs, and it'll be a GIF. So now, where do we place our logos on our designs? That's a personal choice. Depends on what the image is. Typically, corners or top center are good, but it depends.
You can
That
do
is a
like center, middle, like
You can
corners is
do it
fine.
wherever it makes
Yeah.
sense, really. But is it
I've
is
seen
it a
people
is
use it
it
as their backgrounds. Like it all depends on what you're doing.
absolutely? Um, do you have a logo? That's another thing you can do on Canva. You can build a logo. It's very fun.
Yep.
So there's my example GIF. All right, drop that in the chat for you guys. Yeah, you can make one on Canva, 100%. There's even templates for logo, and I think it's 500 by 500. If you guys want to make stickers, you have to follow a different. Here's my sticker. There's me laughing as a sticker. And that's a different resolution there. And then you can also do, uh, stuff like this, right? So you can kind of have fun with it. It's not always, but that's going to be the standard template on Canva, 500 by 500. These stickers here, I believe, are like 128 by 128, um, if I'm not mistaken. But either who,
Yeah, that's for Discord typically 128 by 128.
everything's going to have its own resolution and need. You just check and make sure that you're following the thing. I didn't get this. You animated it and saved it as a GIF, or how? When you go to the share button in the top right corner, you're going to select that. You're going to select download, and then from there, you're going to hit the file type. Right now, it's an MP4 video. If it's an animated one, you could download this as a PNG, and it's just going to take the still image and it's going to download it as a PNG now. So there's that. This is me downloading it as a PNG file. There you go. No animation is shown, so be mindful of if you have animation or not. You do not need animation per se. It can be fun. It's not always necessary. But then when we wanted to make it a GIF, the same method, file type goes to GIF, and then should be available. Can somebody who doesn't have premium
I'm pretty
confirm
sure
if it's
GIF is
available?
available. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Anything that isn't would only be those like crown
No,
options.
PNG is not transparent. It's a resolution of a picture. If you do want to make a transparent design, like I did for my sticker, for example, let's say we want to make this as an example of text transparent. Share. Let's download it as a. Nah, we'll keep we'll make it a GIF still. See how
It's
transparent
actually
background has a cute little crown next to it? That is a premium tool.
yeah.
Okay, so that's an example there.
But then you
Um,
could always take this image after that and bring it to background remover and remove the background that way. It doesn't always function
let's
great.
try. Let's try. So here's the text PNG file, not animated. And I dropped it in here. Let's see what it does. All right.
There you go.
So we're gonna see how it says create design Canva.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
because
working
Canva
together now.
bought background
So you get
remover.
the
That's
you
what
get
it
the
is.
pre you get they're partnered up. I don't know which. But you have the preview, which is free, and that's a 666 by 375 resolution. But if you want the max quality of 1600 by 900, which I believe was the original resolution of this image, you'd have to unlock that using their premium. Let's download this really quick and see what it gives us. So there's that with the removed background. For our purpose, it looks pretty good. I don't think that looks bad at all. So totally fine. Now, the only thing you can't do on remove BG would be let's put the GIF in there and see if that works. Yeah, only JPEG, PNG, and WebP files are supported. So you'd have to find another tool that was able to erase background. Um, yeah, or have Canva Pro, which I'm going to do right now. So let's do that. Share and download and GIF and transparent background. This design contains animation or transparent elements that may appear different when exported as a transparent GIF. Not a problem. We're going to download it.
That's something else that you guys can think about too. Like when you're looking at the file types help if you end up in the future working with designers and stuff too, because then you can like export it as an SVG or PNG file, which are commonly used by designers to manipulate images. Or like if you have a graphics
Make
designer or
elements.
a video editor or something like that, they'll end up using those elements in their videos, and those elements are typically smaller or better quality or more functional. So just knowing the
Yeah,
different file
more
types in the
optimized
future will help you.
for sure. All right, so we're almost downloaded with our GIF. Because it's a video, it's literally downloading multiple pictures that make up the video. That's just a little nerdy tip. So that's why it takes longer. We're gonna save that. Now, here you go. We're gonna drop that in. There you go. We have our nice GIF. But you see how the edges of the text look a little hazy? It's because they're not super. They're just trying to downscale it so it's not too heavy. Um, we could up the resolution, or we can send it through a GIF helper. Uh, Easy GIF, I think. I haven't used it in a while. But if you go to Easy GIF, it's an Easy GIF editor. You can drop videos in here, resize, optimize, all sorts. Let's try that. Let's put our GIF in here. Drop it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
There
We want to go to Optimizer. We can
you
drop the
go.
file here. All right. It's going to read the file. It's going to say this is the example of a text. And then you can start compressing, which is really fun. Now, like it even gives you like what you're doing with this. You have to play with it a little bit. But let's bring it like light light compression. I don't think we need to compress. Let's see. Color reduction, drop frames, transparency, unoptimize, increases the file size but can help with buggy GIFs. Ooh, let's try that one. So we'll select that. We'll press optimize. The cat's gonna work. And it did kind of, it's still a little fuzzy around the edges, you know. Um, Optimizing usually compresses the image to make the file size smaller. If a file size is too big, some of you guys know, you won't be able to drop it into places like Discord if it's too large. So you can use stuff like this to compress the file. But the problem is the frames are already so small that any compression is gonna like take away some of the clarity in your lines. So just something to be aware of. It's a tool. You can play with it. But back to Canva. So any other questions on what we can do with text or what we can do with generally like exporting our work in Canva? Happy to jump on that. I am trying to go slower today, guys. I promise. Um, Normally I just whip through all the tips and tools and say, "Go for it, have fun." But if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat in CGF Friends.
Well,
All
we
right.
have a direct recording from your end too, which makes it better. The last time
Yeah,
it
for
was a
sure.
little funky when we did the Canva 101, so yeah.
Yeah, this is a redo of that for sure. Okay, so this is what I came up with for our post, and I'm gonna make this a lot prettier. For starters, like the Canvas Sans, we all know Canvas Sans. It's a little bit overused. Let's use something a little rougher and a little cooler. Actually, let me see if we can use Poppins Terrace. Poppins.
Yeah, Poppins should be there.
There we go. There's Poppins. That's what we use as one of our text styles. And you can if it's a text that has a drop down next to it, you actually have different different types of that text or boldness usually. And it'll tell you extra light, light, regular, all the way up to black. Black's a little much, so we're gonna go with semi bold, I think. Yeah,
I
semi-bold's
it
good.
all depends on which part I like. For me personally, like, it depends on which part of the text I'm doing. If it's like a headliner or something that's like important, you can do the semi bold, or like the full bold or extra
You don't
bold.
have to you
Or
don't
you
have to
can,
do it universally. You can just do parts of the
yep,
text as well by highlighting this part of the
yep,
text. Go into here, and we can make this one extra bold if we wanted.
yep.
I think we'll just stick with bold. We can make this one extra bold if we want, or blech, you know. Stay vigilant. I don't like either of those actually, but yeah, you can totally adjust as needed. Now let's see. Da, 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 da. We're gonna say follow for the next post. I did this pretty quickly today, and now I don't really have much for the vision, but let's take this and just shrink it for a moment so we have a little bit more space to think how we want this to present. I probably want this a little more, I don't know. Let's make this, it's very, very plain. I mean, that's the first problem. So what do we want to do with the background? You can go into elements and you can add texture if you want, really. Let's do, I don't know, paper. Okay. You can take a photo of paper. That's a crown. Let's find something that's free. Let's see. So if you open it up, you're going to see all the crowns. They're going to be prominent and available to you. But
I
let's
kind of
find
like the
something
parchment
that's,
looking one.
why not? Let's use the parchment looking one. So we can take that. We can adjust it by rotating it. And I'm actually going to make it bigger than the actual picture. Okay? Because I'm just going for the texture here. Now, that's already different, a lot better. You can change the color of the parchment. Let's make it white. Can I do that? There you go. Now we have the texture of the parchment, but it's lighter now. Um, or let's say we want it to be pink. We can do that too. There you go. That's fun. And then, pink on black, a little hard to see sometimes. We can change the text of the color of the text to white. But that's already a little hard to see because it's very bright on bright. So add an outline, add a shadow, or a lift. The lift helps a lot. I'm going to show you guys another tip, a little fun. Moglin taught me this one. It's a really simple tip, but it helps so much. All right, so let's say we do have a light color on a light color, and we just need it to pop a little bit more. We're going to go back to elements, and we're going to search for a square. And you're going to pick a square. That's free, not one with a crown. You're going to just pick one. Anyone. Any square you like. You're going to zoom out. Here's a little driving tips. Control plus your mouse wheel will zoom in and out. And that's the big one I use. If it were inside, if you're zoomed way in and you need to go left and right, I think it's Shift is left and right, and then Alt is up and down. So you can, but yeah, if you're big, I'm usually much bigger than the picture. So Control to zoom out, and then you're gonna take your box and you're gonna make it bigger. Oh my gosh, this is a weird box. It's very square. We're gonna cover the entire image. That's what I'm getting at. And then we're gonna go to, once we've covered our image, we're gonna press Alt 1. That's gonna open up our layers, and you see how that's at the topmost of our layers. Anything, it all goes in order of like a book, right? So the background is on the bottom, then our background image is above that, our text is on top of that, and now we have this big annoying square on top of everything. Well, just take this, put it behind the subject that you're highlighting, okay? And now we have a black background, but I want the pink to come back through. I'm going to go to transparency, and I'm going to drop that all the way down to like 10. It's going to change the color a little bit, but dang, does that pop a lot more than, it did before. Very simple, very, very simple. We've just made a shader color to go over top. You usually use black, but if you wanted to use gray, if you wanted to use pink as well, if you wanted to use purple, you can do whatever you want. Just it puts a layer between the background and the foreground, or the subjects in front, and helps with defining the layers a little bit. Okay, so questions on that? Everybody likes that trick, but they're like, wait, do that again. Always. But super simple. You're gonna grab a square from elements, rectangle, whatever. You're gonna drop it over top of the entire piece, and you're just gonna make sure it's in the layer in between your background and your foreground. Very simple. And then you're going to drop the transparency on that layer down to like 5, 10, whatever you want. Just as long as it separates as much as you need it to and no much more. Yeah? And then that combined with the lift layer or the shadow layer can help. Shadow is not my favorite. There's the outline. There's neon. You can drop the intensity of the neon if it's too much, too bright. You can do whatever you want. Have fun with it. Make it fun. Now, it also just feels a little bit not unbordered. You can add a border if you wish. Border. A lot of the borders are premium tools, and a lot of the borders don't fit natively, so it can be a little weird. Try and get them to fit. Let's see if we have any that are unpremiumed that we can use. Here's just a line. Kind of cool. We can stretch that line, but it's a little much. It's a little in the way. We can flip it upside down if we want it to be like this instead, but it doesn't quite fit exactly what I was going for, but you get the point. You can add little pieces of flair, whatever suits your fancy. Whatever makes the point. Now, bloop, and make sure it lines up nice and it's not, you're creating a box. You're just creating. If you're not sure about alignment, there is these hard, thick lines. When we move it left to right, we're going to get one eventually that clicks to center. That's that hard line. This is centered on something else. This is centered on something else. You're going to get the box, the square pink box that's around. That's going to show you kind of your margin line. But if you're not sure and you just don't want to fiddle with it, the up and down has one too. You can right click anything and you go to align to page and you can put middle, right? It's in the middle, align to page. It should be on center already. So that's why it's like there.
Grayed out.
If you want to align it to the left or to the right, you can do the same thing. However you need it to. Align to page, center, align to page, middle. There you go. So that's going to be the total center. This one looks a little funny, so I'm probably going to get rid of it. But that's the idea. That's the idea. We're going to ditch that guy. Now, what else can we do to this guy? Somebody was asking about logos. So,
yep.
I mean, if we kept it like that, like there's very little room for our logos. It's going to show. There we go. This is my business logo, Dream Team Creative Collective. There's very little room for it now because of all this text, so we can make it really tiny. We could fit it up there in the corner somewhere. And the only thing I suggest when you're putting a logo in the corner, think of it like a stamp on the stamp on a letter. You just want to put it somewhere that it looks defined and lined up. I'm gonna add let's see. Let's add. So on images, you're gonna have a few more tools when you hit edit. If you can't find the effects, it's under edit, and then you go into your effects down here. This is the shadows one, and I like to use glow. Glow is a good one. You can also use drop shadow, outlining, page lift, backdrop, whatever makes sense for the image. We're gonna zoom in on that. If you need to drag, you grab its middle mouse button, click, and then drag. Now that looks a little heavy, so we're gonna mess with that really quick. Go to shadows. You can adjust the size of the shadow, the glow. You can adjust the blur amount, how much it blurs. It's gonna make your image resized as well, so just be mindful of that. And then of course the intensity. How intense of a shadow are you adding? We just want a little bit, just a little touch. And then we might just want to look at that and make sure it's resized to fit. So there you go. It can go in the corner like that. If you wanted it in the center, obviously it wouldn't fit. So you just have to make adjustments. And let's say this is your, there you go. Nice and even Steven. Nice in the middle. And then you just want to center it in between. Like imagine all this knot space, from here to here and from here to here is about even. You're not going to get that perfect unless you take the border lines and you drag it to the outside of your thing, but then you're losing your shadow. It's a noticeable, there you go. It's a noticeable hard stop on the shadow. there, so we don't want that. But if you wanted to get it as close to it as you could without it being noticeable, you could do this, and then you could do this, and then with your and you could line it up to the outside and then the outside again, and however you wanted to do that. And then it's going to kind of like think about other things in its way. So this bounding box is now resting on the bounding box of the text. Here's the margin line again. We were talking about that big square. Now it's in the, now you know it's perfectly aligned with the corner there. If you wanted that to be your corner. I'm using a much higher corner, but I'm still same concept. You see the purple line around my image towards the edges. I just want those two, lines or thicknesses of margin to be about the same. And that's my trick for that. But yeah, so that's margin lines and positioning. And what's up, Shelko? Hello. What else do we have, guys? What else do we have? We were talking about like, well, so the I guess to wrap up our contest this week is going to be creating one of these for yourself, a final post image, and it can be a safety warning, like, hey, like this is the final post of my thread. Be vigilant. Watch out for scam links and from bad actors. It can totally do that. If it's something, usually if it's something sensitive, if it's something that you're promoting, anything to do with connecting to something, signing up for something, linking to something, that's a good place to put that. It can be a general, do your own research. You can also do things like, all opinions are my own. This is not a sponsored post. This is a sponsored post. Disclaimers can be done like this. Or like Terrace was saying, it can just be a call to action for people to follow you. And like, hey, did you enjoy this content? Great. This is the final post. But if you want to catch the next one, follow me for more. It can be anything you guys want it to be. But we'll just call this contest the final post contest. And it doesn't have to follow. I just used some words. So don't feel like you have to use this exact wording in any way. I want it to be something that's relevant to your thread. You will have to post a thread to put it at the end of your final post. But yeah, so that's just a little extra for you. But you guys are doing that anyway, so no big deal. And use the colors you like, use the images you like. We did this with a logo here. But if you needed other things, there's plenty of free stuff in the elements area. You can upload your own images. You can remove the backgrounds of them. You can, let's say we want a flower. Here's a flower, right? We're just gonna look for the ones that are not crowned. There's a lot more crowned than there aren't, but here's a flower, right? So, just make sure if you're adding images, thing that I always ding people on or look at is, separation of layers. So this looks very flat where these things look very alive, just by giving them a shadow. Go to edit, go to shadows, press on glow, and there you go. Now that's a little thick, right? So we're just going to drop the intensity down a little bit, make it a little more seamless, and there you go. You have a nice flower on your post. No big deal. You can put flames. Why not? You can you can do whatever you like. Here's some fire, and we can add the fire to the bottom for fun, and there we go. And now it's in the way of my text. Not a problem. Alt 1. Now you have layers. We're gonna bring that down to here, and now we've got this cool thing with fire and a flame, and maybe this maybe the flames are too high. Maybe we need to drop the transparency down a smidge, make it blend a little
Yeah,
better.
it's something that you
Whatever.
always have to be careful with
Think
is
about
making sure
how it
things
all
look
makes sense,
cohesive.
and just
Yeah.
make something cohesive that makes sense for your messaging of your last post. And have fun with it. That's the most important thing. So yeah, any questions, guys? No, there's no stipulations, Waza, on what kind of thread you're writing. I don't care. It can be a 2-post thread. It can be a 3-post thread. I don't care. Terrace is the English major here. I'm not.
Yeah, the focus
I'm
of
not
this
here
one
to.
is graphics.
Yeah, I'm the art guy. I'm the fun uncle. Don't worry about me on that. You guys get to just have fun with the art piece, and I'll do my best to.
I'm the guy with the ruler.
give you guys suggestions on how to make it, how I want to bring your vision to life, you know what I mean? So have fun with it. Um, and make it yours. Make it so, like, give it some, give it some thought, give it some utility so that you can use this more than just for this contest. Make it something you guys can use on a regular basis. That would be the ultimate goal. If you can certainly make one for every kind of post you ever do, but you're gonna find that like that takes time until you build up your bag of media, like your media kit, if you will. Until you have a bunch of templates made out, it's gonna be probably more useful to make something a little more universal, something that you can use on pretty much any post, that would make sense. And like it might need a couple of those depending on the types of posting you're doing. But yeah, be thoughtful of that stuff and see what you come up with. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. It's always a fun. Any other questions on the Canva before I finish up? But I mean, I think it's like, yeah, you guys are always surprising me with stuff. So
They're good
let me
at
know.
asking questions, man, and they're
You guys can
curious as
also
hell.
just come
I
up.
love
Like
it.
I have no like if you guys don't want to type, if you want to just come up and save your fingers a little bit, you're more than welcome to come and ask me directly. Um, totally happy to air
Jelko, you have any
questions.
questions for Mr. Maddox? I know you came in partway through, so yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you have any
We
questions
recorded
for
it as
Mr.
well.
Maddox?
Yeah,
Yes.
Jelko, we recorded it as well. So anybody that wants to go over the notes, don't feel like there's any bad questions at all. Um, I don't keep it so shiny. It's a little stubbly right now. You should just shave your head every other day or whenever you feel like being a little shinier. Me and Jelko are shiny head brothers. We get it. We get it. Shaving just sucks sometimes, man. I don't want to. Sometimes I just don't feel like shaving my head.
Oh, it makes you appreciate when your women shave for you more, right? Like, jeez.
It's always a good feeling when you do it, but ugh, man, is it a bore? And my like fun like head razor thing is got like it needs battery, so it's like I don't know, the battery busted, so I need a new one. Lame. But yeah, my close shave touch up thing. Maddox meme coming soon.
There's already a
Oh
couple Maddox
no.
memes.
There's
There's
a
a couple
couple. Have
Maddox
at it.
memes.
Have fun
Yeah.
with it. Have fun with it, man. It's always a good time.
Give
Always
him
a
like
good time.
a little glare off the top, and Maddox looking crystal clean, or Mr.
I make my own
Clean.
memes. I have fun with it. I have
Yep.
fun with it. Gotta have fun.
Funny note about this one. He actually got dressed up like this to take that picture.
Oh yeah, that's not AI. That's me.
Yes, sir.
That's
Velocity
me.
just won.
Yeah, just one. I'm no extra points for doing multiples. You know, if you need something to write about, talk about what you're doing for the contest, talk about why final posts are going to help you in the future or what you've learned about final posts, all good stuff. Um, whatever. Whatever.
See,
There's no wrong
this
answers. Just yeah.
today's topic actually stemmed from partially me wanting to get you guys started on like a brand kit or like a media kit for your personal brand. Maddox was like, "No, Taurus, that's too much." So I was like,
It's a
"Okay."
lot. A
So
brand
yeah,
kit like from start to go is quite a bit of a
yeah,
work
it's a
because I mean
lot.
you've got to be thinking about okay, so like even just starting like I mean we can go into like a little bit on like just building our own stuff, right? So like Dream Team Creative Collective is my overarching, this is my business. It's an LLC business. I came up with the name. It's a mouthful. Looking back on it, I probably should have picked a shorter name, but it embodies what I'm trying to do. The logo is created out of a logo generator. Like I had to play with AI to get this the way I wanted it, and cool. But it's not my own works per se. Either who, this became my logo for my business, and then when we wanted to build an offshoot business from that business, we had to come up with a name, and like it wasn't going to be Dream Team Creative Collective did not embody what we were trying to do, and so like that was too much. We can So then I took, we had how long did we sit down on a name? Probably like 3 or 4 hours, like where we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And a very, very long time. But we had this first image to work off of, and then I know I wanted to use the fox head. My daughter was the inspiration for the fox. But we came up with Dream Test Labs, and then from there, we kind of like made a new logo, and that became, this is a logo for Dream Test Labs. And I've been playing with this stuff a little bit, and that's all fun. Then I came up with like, I wanted to have a profile pic, so I knew the fox was going to be the primary thing, so I took my little fox head and I put it in a nice little purple, and it's gradient, so that was a little hard to do, but we got a nice profile ring. Terrace hates this image for some reason. He hates me. He
I
doesn't like me or my
no
art.
for
So
some for
that's
some
yeah.
reason
I
I
take
don't
it
know
personally. I
why,
take it.
but
I take it deathly
I like
personally.
the open free flowing image with the tail so
He
much
doesn't
better
like me.
than
So
the
either way,
ring.
so this,
I don't know why. It's just
he just doesn't
something
like
about like the ring around it makes it look weird to me.
he doesn't like me. So beyond that, we made a logo there. We then had to like go and but like to do all this, right? We had to start understanding like our color scheme, because like if any of these were on different colors, it's gonna be odd, and like now the color becomes a part of your brand. We also had to think about the tech, like the lettering, and like what we're using for lettering when we were building our Twitter page for this. Let's go to yes, I'm like it's a good example, but I'm not trying to shill, I promise. But
Uh
yeah, so when we
huh.
yeah,
Uh
when we
huh.
were coming up with the background image, right? We had to come up with a font we wanted to stick with, and now we know like Poppins is one, and this one is something else that we use as well. But now we have to kind of stick with those. So when we were selecting our fonts, we took another hour just to go through fonting together, and that was terrible. And like, it's just
We
it's
clashed a lot on it as we were
a
going. It
lot,
was just a
a
lot of back
lot.
and forth because everything is preferential. Everything's
Yeah.
subjective when it comes to graphics and art, and it's more about like being attractive and professional with a business logo or a business banner than it is about being super fun and creative. You want it readable, you want people to be able to enjoy the view of it and everything, but you also want to have fun creating and building these graphics and the text around it. Yeah, that was who was that? That was friggin' I forget who made it. Was it Jay? No.
Starts with an N.
N?
We tagged them because so this image actually came from the meme contest
Yep.
from of Terrace. I needed a photo of Terrace for this image, and I really liked this one, so I borrowed it, and I did give credit on the image. It is somewhere. I have to find it where
You'd
it's
have to go
tagged.
back to the original post, yeah, like that you made.
You and two others. That's
Oh,
that's from Non.
none.
Non did that.
None,
And
yeah.
so we made sure to tag, we borrowed an image from somebody. It's not our image, right? And I think I even put in the description of the image, like, image was from Non. Thanks so much for making Terrace pretty or something like that. But yeah, so cute little image, right? And it looks adorable, and it's very fun. But that was
I
when we
wish
did our
my team
first
first
check-in.
could have stacked.
That's when we did our first check-in, and like so again, we didn't fade any of all the text is all in the same fonting, okay? So you got your headers is one fonter, and your just informational text is another. And you got to take note of this stuff, and like that becomes a part of your media kit. Your color codes become a part of your media kit. If I select edit here, I'd have to go to the original image to see it, but if I select color and I go here, I know that this color is my purple,
Yep.
right? And I can take this purple and I can put it on other things, and now I know that's my purple. If I want to know the gradient, I'd have to go to the original one and know this purple plus this purple. So you have to mark all of those, highlights, low light colors. These are all important things because if you start doing this and then you try to do something else that's like slightly off, but it's still your kind of brand. It just looks weird. It doesn't look great.
Exactly.
You want to stay on brand,
Consistency.
stay on, yeah, because you don't want to be the guy rebranding every 3 months, thinking, oh, I thought this was cool, then thought this was cool. You can do it. It's not gonna keep your attention. People are gonna be like, they don't even know what they want.
When you're doing branding, it's about being recognizable.
Right.
That's
You
why
want
like
anybody
on
to
X,
go on.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, go on.
your profile pics end up being important. So like if you're
Yeah.
changing your profile pics consistently, people can't pick you out of their for you page. So like if somebody enjoys seeing me and Maddox and they love Dream Test Labs, if we changed our profile pic there consistently, what would happen? Nobody would be able to tell where we are on their page. But
Right.
it's if you have a consistent brand, if you have a consistent logo, if you have a consistent background or imagery that you use in your posts, people can pick you out of a scroll really quick and really easily, which actually helps people stop and say, hey, this is a post from this guy. I want to check it out, rather than
Yeah.
just scrolling past like people typically do.
Yep. And you guys see how, and just for those that did take part in the first Canva course, see how we used the profile picture to fall off the actual back, the banner? Like that was all purposeful. Putting Dream Test here, all purposeful, and next to the profile ring so that it looks like it like you don't know where the banner is and the start of the bio is. It's all done that way on purpose. It looks unique and different, a little bit, I hope, and just enough. But it's nothing too fancy at all. It's very simple, very,
Yep.
very simple. If you look at the image, it's just words, nothing um, um,
Yep.
you know. And the background, I made the background out of this image, or no, the original DTCC logo, and I zoomed it in really big, and it became my texture, and I made it really transparent so you can barely see it, barely make it out. I also do this on my proposals as well. Anything I want to keep with like kind of like a watermark, I use my logo and I make it really transparent, but it's something in the background. It's a little bit different. Not enough to be noticeable, but I notice it and it's fun. But just little tricks, nothing crazy. And have fun with it, guys. That's the major lesson of the day. Just you know, try things out. Control Z is your friend. You can always undo it. You can always scrap it and start new. But trust the process of art. Have fun with it. Try something. If it doesn't work, try something else. Keep going till it
Exactly.
works. That's it. That's
Exactly.
all
And that's
art
what
is.
it's the same thing with the posting. You have to keep trying. You have to try
Sure.
different styles of writing. You have to try different ways of connecting with your audience or engaging with people. And it's very much the same way with graphics. What people like, what people are attracted to, the things that pop, things that make people attracted to your post, and that's kind of like the whole deal with creating these graphics for your stuff, is to give people something to enjoy while they're reading along, in a lot of cases something to highlight what you're writing, something to end your post, or something to start your post with, that's branded to you and your page and what you do. These are all important things that can help improve your account and your content game. So yeah, it's important.
Yep, and everything you do it becomes a part of your media kit slowly. If your goal is to become a
Yep,
brand and brand yourself, everybody is a brand. Whether they know it or not. How you present yourself on socials. So don't scrap anything you do. Keep it, collect it. Get it all somewhere in a recognizable folder. Keep it all together so that when you've gotta take something and use it again, you can. That's important. So yeah. No, you're not. The your guild hall. Like, I stopped sharing the screen, so if you can't see
oh
my
no, she's looking for a Guildhall post. Just
ah
if
ah
it
ah,
at the top with the search bar, just type in Halo and it
there you go.
should pop up. Now
Yeah,
I've had issues with it with indexing like people's posts before,
you can
so
you can
it may
Alt
take.
K or Control K or Alt K. Control K will do this, and you can search Halo, and
Ah,
then you should be able to. Well, you can find the person. Hmm. You can search within the guild hall. Let's see. Guild hall, guild showcase, or guild discussion.
it was Guild Showcase.
Okay. So you go to Guild Showcase channel, type the word Halo, from Halo, mentions Halo.
is it not
Uh,
working?
yeah, I know. What I usually do is like you see how it's you hover over it and you get here's Halo content right here. But if you didn't, you'd press see all,
There we go. Yeah, she found it.
and then you're gonna see everybody's, and then you can search within the forum Halo,
Yeah, but at
and
the
there you
top
go.
of the forum it says search or create post, and usually that will, yeah. Like, see, I just searched it and it popped up Halo
In
content.
the forum search, you can for
Yeah,
sure.
but
Um,
I've had
but you
issues
can
with it
also, yeah,
before,
I
so
let's see. You just hover over it first, see all, it'll bring you everyone instead of
yeah.
to a specific
And
channel.
you can also sort view by activity, which will help you, like, because if you've posted in there recently, which most of you have within a week or 2 weeks or something like that, so it'll give you the opportunity to search for it too.
Yep. Any other questions, guys? Because I'm here. I want to answer anything you have before I roll. I know you guys are going to
Anything?
do great, and you're going to surprise me with all sorts of fun. I'm expecting it.
Yeah, I'll go through it with Maddox and get the exact requirements and stuff, so that we can post that up or an announcement for the contest for the week. And also, anybody who is watching on X right now, Authority, anybody else, come hop into the Discord, get in the audience so I can take the screenshot, and we'll do the duck races for today. Remember, I made the announcement today. This week, we're going to be doing 10 per win for across the board for the week. So yeah, we're reducing the amount of prizing per winner per event, but we're going to be increasing either the number of winners for the events or the prizing for the winners for the contests at the end of the week. So this gives more people an opportunity to participate and potentially win, at the same time as giving people more rewards for participation rather than just for being present. So you know me, I like participation over presence any day. So yeah.
I wasn't sure if Rossi was talking to me, but he was saying, "Why does your Canva and my Canva not feel the same?" And I was joking and saying premium. But no, like jokes aside, I used Canva for free for 2 years before I actually bought into it, and I would hunt through images and clip art that wasn't crowned, um, and you'd have to be tricky. You have to like use as many tools as you can to like make the thing you wanted to make. Um, and that's your question. um, you can absolutely just be more creative than the premium stuff. You just have to be. It takes a little more time sometimes because sometimes there's a tool that's readily available under the premium, and if it's not, you have to be creative to make the effect you're looking to make. Whether you're using cropping, whether you're using other tools like remove.bg to remove backgrounds, whether you're using transparency, layers, like clip parts
usually
of things. You got to build your own things, whatever it is. You got to just overcome it. There's a way.
Usually
There's a
premium
way.
allows you to do things easier or more conveniently
That's all.
based on what tool you're using. So like if you're paying for Photoshop, you have all your tools built into Photoshop, right? You don't ever have to go someplace else to use another tool for whatever you're doing, right? And then if it's like with Canva, you have all of the tools and utilities built into Canva. Majority of them are premium, and usually it's convenience, being able to find an image quickly to use as a background or to use as an accent or shapes or textures or something along those lines. Or it's you don't have to go to remove.bg to remove a background, or you don't have to go to an image resizer to resize things, and a lot of it, that's what you pay for, convenience and some utilities that you might not get because
But
you're paying
also,
premium.
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, premium equals ease and speed. But also, when you do it enough and you get your templates in and you figure out what you're doing, I made all these this morning. Like on the couch with my laptop without a mouse, like because I know what I need to do. I need a background, I need a layer, I need a lizard, I need a title logo, I need our logo, and I need when it is, right? So it's like I know the elements involved, and I'm just swapping those things out for different events. But I made this one, this one, this one, this one, and I made this one for you guys, and I made this one for the post today. Um,
Yep.
like just the example from going to this one, like I could absolutely take all the elements, copy them, paste them into a new resolution. But
Yep.
one of the cool things about Premium is it actually has a resizer, which is really cool. Um, well, so like let's say I want to take, let's say I want to take, let me remove all these really quick. Let's say I want to take this image and then turn it into, for some reason, I don't know, let's make it a Discord event, right? So 800 by 320. Like right now it's 1600 by 900, but like I can resize. That's a premium
I
tool
don't
right
know if
there.
everybody can see
Oh,
your
sorry. Let me
screen.
share screen really quick. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I forget. I
Remember,
forget.
guys, if you're watching, you have to be in the audience to get part of the snapshot. I'm doing it in another minute. On the 40-minute mark, we're gonna be doing the snapshot for the duck race. Go ahead, Maddox.
No, you're good. And so if I want to take this, I can just click highlight every piece and copy with Control C or this one right here. And then I can put it into a new, I can make a new custom size for what I'm looking for, and I can do it that way. That's the way around Premium. But if I want to just be fast, like with Premium tools, I can take this, I can resize and select the new thing that I want. I know 800 by 320 is one I use a lot. So copy and resize. It's going to do its best to take all that and reformat it for me. And then I can open the new project in the new, but you can see all the elements are stretched funny. Not a problem. I just take Alt 1, grab my background, also grab this one. I can make
All
it
right,
big,
taking a screenshot.
and
Um,
now I've got the same background as I had before. I can reposition my wording. Maybe I want it to be over here now, and maybe I want this to be over here now, and maybe my fire is a little in the way. Alt 1, grab the element, grab it, make it longer, make it just touch the bottom if I want. Um, whatever you need to do. Uh, but yeah, so you can resize it based on what you need it to do. And there you go. But so that's a premium help. But yeah, again, you can just take the same things, grab it, you know, let's say this was all gone, all of it gone and gone. Let's say I made the new page and it just gives me this. I can take my Twitter post elements, highlight everything, copy with Control C, paste with Control V. Pretty much does the same thing. I think I missed something. My background maybe. Go in, steal my background again. Copy that, paste that, make it big. Alt 1, put it behind the flames. And there we go. Same deal. So you don't need premium. It's just, ease of access. That's all. That's all.
come on. It won't copy paste, damn it. There we go. Control C, cancel. Control V.
All right.
Emoji.
That's Canva 101, round two. If you guys have other questions, feel free to ask them whenever or wherever. Terrace will either get it back to me or I'll find it and whatever. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, guys. Always fun to watch your art come out. I like to see what people learn from these when logo design class. You already know how to make a logo. You go in and look, when logo design class. How about this? Custom size, 500 by 500, right? Or look, it's a suggested one. It's called logo. Make logo. Gives you a blank square. Okay? Then you come up with a virion. What the hell's a virion? Give me a thing. We're gonna make a sheep. I don't know. What do you want to be? You want to be a sheep? What do you want to be? I know you like the fox. That's why I picked it. You're a virus? Gross.
She
Virus.
likes like the DNA strand stuff in her
Okay. So we want to go to elements, virus, That's a premium one. It's pretty cool. Let's go to see all graphics. Here's one that's not. We can find here's the cool looking like buggy thing. That's another one. I'm gonna type the word V. La 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 la. No, I don't like any of those. Virus, and then we go to. Let's do this. I got an idea for you, bud. Grab this. This is a pretty cool shape. All right. Put it up in the corner. Grab it to the other corner. You want to make sure it's centered. This image is kind of crap because it's like on the other side. Not a problem. Just take it off the edge a little bit. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna need a white circle. I'm gonna just need a circle, right? And then we need it to be a solid one. Let's see, all shapes. Grab the regular circle shape, and then we're gonna put it. This is a little tricky too because you gotta like line it up.
It's just
All
possessed.
right.
That's why. That's fucked up. Uh,
You need a cool V, and then you can grab a photo of a V. You can grab a like whatever. Let's grab a. I don't know. Let's grab a fun V. V for Virion. Um,
yeah, you still remember her shit, huh?
it's still ringing in my ear, dude.
Yeah, I know. It
That
was
V is not wide
catchy.
enough. That V is not wide enough. That's a cool V. Huh, that's a neat one. So this is called a frame. This is a picture frame. Um, and if I go here, and then I'm gonna go steal some image from Virion. Let's find it. Um, we're gonna copy image. Watch how fast. Watch how fast. Oh no, I'm gonna need to save it because I need to drop it in. So we're gonna save the image as Virion. I spelt that wrong. Don't just ignore me. And then you take this, you drag it in, and then it's gonna
No, I think
go
you
to your
spelled it right,
uploads.
actually.
No, I spelled it with like too many I's. And I'm gonna
Oh.
take this, and I'm gonna drag it to your V, and now you're a V Virion in a virus, and there, that's some fun. We're gonna center that as much as possible. Okay, so now I like this, but if I tried to take this and put it on a solid background, you're gonna see that like it's got like it's not gonna show right, because like the white circle is hiding the other little bit that I didn't like in the image. So we're actually gonna make it white again, and I'm gonna share it as download as transparent background. Ugh, this is not gonna work because it's gonna notice the white circle. Hmm.
I'd
No, I
try
know what
it.
we're gonna do. No. We can just
Okay.
watch. Just take it, download it as normal, and then it's a PNG now, right? Now watch this shit. So because we use that as a filter, we're gonna take that here, save it, and then we're gonna remove this, get rid of it. We're gonna take our newly printed image, we're gonna drop it in there. We're gonna put it up in the corner, drag it to the edge. Damn it. All right. And then we're going to use this is a premium tool. We're going to use do we want to do it? Oh, yeah. Click on this, background remover. It'll notice our shapes. And now we have a transparent image that we won't be able to notice until, come on, many circles up. That's about right. And then share as a download with transparent background, another premium tool. Download and full transparent. And then there you go, Virion. Your very quickly made silly transparent logo. There you go. So it's very silly. But yeah, you can do whatever you want, man. Have fun.
Tacky but
Have fun.
He was just
Eh?
showing you real quick. Now you
I
can
was
go
doing
try to do it yourself
I did that
in a
in
way
what,
that you
3 or 4
want.
minutes? I did that in like 3 or 4 minutes. You come up with something better. How about that? I dare you. Come up with something better than mine.
Maybe
How
that'll
about
be the
that?
next one. Next time we'll do logos, and they come up with their own personal logos
Yeah, you
for
click
their
on it, you only see the
accounts.
B. Oh yeah, I know because it's black. But if we
I can see the virus around it. Yeah.
I know you should. You should. Exactly. Yeah, man. No, if I was doing this for realsies, if we go back, why? I mean, not for realsies. I did pretty good. But I would have added a shadow on that too, because oh no, it's gonna shadow the image, not the frame. That's kind of dumb. You could take this image, you could put it on a new page. You could download this as its own new image. Let's see. Yeah, we want to put it there. And then you
See, a
have to
lot of
remove
it
this one.
is taking your time to fuck around with things. Like it's
You
not.
have to you have to
Yeah,
mess around with things.
nothing's ever gonna come out perfectly the first time. And one of the reasons why I hate doing graphics is because I spend entirely too much time on graphics, or spend entirely too little time on graphics. So I either have to do it really quick and it doesn't look good to me, or I take entirely too long to try to make it look good. So
But that
yeah,
doesn't have a shadow on it. I would prefer it have a shadow on it. So we take that image. Then so I see how I have to download it, bring it back into the thing again. Copy, paste. Oh shit. Hang on. I have to stop it. Grab it, put it in here. Now I have this as its own image, and I can actually apply the shadow to it now, and it won't shadow your image within the V. It actually shadows the whole thing now. See that? So now you saw the first one I just posted, right? I'm gonna reply to that one.
what's up, Tharisto?
Uh, Share, download with a transparent background. And the only thing I'm skipping by using the premium transparent background is taking the image and having to remove BG, basically. So now it has a little lift to it. And if you look at that one versus the first one feels flat, one feels like it's like sticking out on the page a little bit. Yeah, that's all. That's the big difference. So there's the flat one. There's the one with a little bit of shadow. Just makes it pop. Just a little bit. Just a little bit
Find
light.
find
Get it?
something that connects with you. Find something that vibes with you. Find something that you like or you love. I mean, I've seen people do shit like friggin' butterflies and some people doing stuff like I did a shield because I like the shield. Like you do whatever is comfortable for you, whatever you like, and whatever you're happy with being your consistent brand image. Something that's long term. You can rebrand your image, but you don't want to do it every 6 months. You don't want to do it every 3 months. Most people go years with the same image consistently. So it's something that you want for longevity, not something that you want that you're just going to change up consistently.
Yep.
I'm announcing the winners of the thread later on today, along with the information for the new contest for this week. Um, yeah, so I'll be posting those later. Make a logo with
Hmm.
just your name. Name logos are hard because
Yeah, they are.
names aren't usually used for logos. Your name is kind of like your brand name, and your logo is an image that would be associated with your brand. So, it gets really nitpicky around branding. And there's a lot of really good resources out there and it's super important. So it doesn't hurt to watch maybe a YouTube video on branding and marketing because you're marketing yourself as your own brand when you're building an X account or a portfolio or even as like a resume. Like your resume, you're marketing yourself to a potential employer. When you're a creator, you're marketing yourself to potential projects. When you're a company, you're marketing yourself to people. It's all about what your audience is, what you want to be attached to, whatever part of your life you're attaching it to, whether it's your business, your personal brand, or your portfolio.
Hmm.
Yep. Naming is important too, but that's something that you have to decide on. Like, there's nothing that we can really do to help you figure out a good name for something. It's something that, yeah, I
You got
mean,
to play with that. That's a
yeah,
personal, yeah,
yeah,
very
it's very
personal.
personal. And you see some people's names out there, like my name, I go by Taurus Resh. Maddox goes by Maddox Makes. Like Tharisto goes by Tharisto. Like we've got Jelko. He goes by Jelko. Crypto Grit. That's his kind of like branding. So like you have to find something that connects with you, something that you feel kind of embodies you in my opinion. Like me, my character is a character from when I was younger. You will remove Jelko. Why? Hmm. Jelko. I got it. I try to remember, buddy. But yeah. So but yeah, and that's something too. Being able to remember or say it or pronounce it, that's something that can be very important too. Around your branding for sure.
Marshmallow, do you have Twitter? Kind of a silly question. Do you have Twitter?
He does.
What's your Twitter? I know you do.
Share
What
your
is
X page link, buddy.
it? What is it? Oh, I have an idea too, though. Hold on.
That's something that's really important that a lot of you guys haven't done. Jelko said that you should add X in your Discord profile. Yes. If you look at my Discord profile, right? So, if you click on my Discord profile, right, and you go to my full profile, you'll see that I have my Steam, which shows all the games that I play, my Twitch, which is pretty much dead, but I still use it periodically, my YouTube, where everything is stored, and my X account, which shows like my followers, my posts, and everything else. And you can easily and quickly get to it. So if somebody sees you and is interested in learning more about you, but they don't want to like be like, hey, what's your stuff? Then they can just go here and click, pull it right up, and see all of your stuff, right? Which I need to rebrand this image here too. But like, yeah, discoverability is important too. Yep, exactly.
Bigger? It's annoying.
He said his is add dull face, ADDULLFACE.
Didn't work.
Furia wants to make comics so bad. But I mean, if you think about how a comic lines up, like in an image, you can look at a page on Canva and break that page up with different elements to make a comic strip. You don't have to have like a pre-designed layout or anything, and then you
I'm not
just
a
do it page by page.
comedian. I don't know. Yeah, comics have their own. I can't find add dull face. There it is. Meh, meh, meh.
Oh, it's Ab Dullface. He
Ah,
wrote
ah,
ad at
ah.
first.
Is that your main profile picture? You have multiple. You have multiple. You have multiples.
Yes, you were super late, girly.
Hi, so late. My name's Dad.
I
Nice to
already
meet
I
you.
already took the snapshot for the friggin' winners too, for the duck race too. I I But yeah, girly, this is all recorded. So you're gonna have the opportunity to watch it again if you want. I do have it streaming on X. It's finally working right. So she Virion really wants a class on comic strips.
I don't know how to do comic strips. What do I know about comic strips?
Oh come
What
on,
do I
man!
know
You couldn't
about
you couldn't you
comic
couldn't do a
strips?
comic strip? You
I
could do a
could.
comic strip.
What do I make comics for a living, guys? What do I know about comics any more than you guys know? I know how to make graphics, but yeah, we can make comics. What would the theme be? We just make a comic for
Yeah,
funsies?
we just make a comic for funsies.
Huh.
I can give you the storyline and everything, and you
You're
can do the
terrible.
graphics.
Yeah, you guys know that comics are made up by usually multiple people, right? Like somebody's
Yeah,
doing the stories, somebody's doing the art, there's illustrators that just do
I
illustrating, they
actually
draw
wanted to make a
things.
manga.
Sure. Sure.
I actually burned myself yesterday doing the fire with my brother. I think I managed to burn my eye a little bit. All right. So while Maddox is helping you
Well,
guys
I'm just
figure that
doinking
out,
around. I'm just having fun.
um, I'm gonna start the duck
I'm
race
waiting.
here.
I'm waiting on
Um,
you.
you're waiting on me. I was
I'm
just
waiting
letting
on
you
you.
I was just letting you go. All right.
Oh, I'm good.
So
I'm good.
we've got 79 names here. We're gonna do duck race of. I know you guys want duck race of death, but death or life. You guys are gonna kill me with this shit. One or why did it not go?
Sure. Sure.
There we go. One or
Velocity.
two.
Quit exposing me, velocity.
What did she? What did she say? What did he say? Make sure says sure with his uninterested voice. Yeah, no, that's definitely Maddox when it comes to giveaway stuff. Um,
Yeah, sure. Sure. Do the giveaway. Sure.
all right, guys, vote death or life. I'll give you guys a chance to vote. This is oh shit. That was not what I was intending to do. But yeah, copy message link. Here we go. Death or life? Death or life, guys. Pick one. Vote one for death, two for life. Please pick life. Please pick life. There's 70 of you people here. Please pick life. Please. Please. I don't want to have to scream out 70 friggin' 5 names. Oh. Life needs to win. I'm gonna take my vote away from death. All right, we've only got 10 votes so far. 20 votes. 20, 20, 25. Let's go, guys. We've got 70 of you guys in the audience. People, vote. Vote. Duck race of life, please, guys. What's up, C? Yeah, you're a little late this time, buddy. You're voting three. We're almost at 40 votes out of 60 69 people in the audience right now. So, um, I'm gonna give it like another minute. If you guys don't change it up, it's gonna go. It's gonna go live. Thank you so much for saving my poor voice. Looks like we've still got life going. Everybody's voting for life right now. Thank you guys for voting for life. And it looks like give it another 30 seconds. Looks like life is winning though. We've got 35 votes out of 72. You guys can make or break this in like the next 30 seconds, but it looks like life is taking it today. Thankfully. Come on, guys. Keep it the same. Keep it the same. Yep, that's it. It's going for life. It's going for life. Yeah, make Taurus suffer. Thanks. I changed mine. Make Taurus suffer. What good friends I have here. Jeez. Um, all right. So it's Duck Race of Life. We're gonna set it for a minute and a half because 2 minutes was a little long the last time. We'll set it for a minute and a half. All right. Definitely chose the wrong one. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna share my. Oh well, Maddox is sharing his screen this time. So
I'll turn mine off.
thank you, sir. I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna get ready, get set, and quack in a couple of shuffles. Shuffle, shuffle. Come on. This thing's lagging up. Jeez. Ready, steady, and quack. Let's go. Let's see who's going to take it today. We're going to have 3 winners, 10 USDT apiece, and a minute and a half per race. Looks like Crib's in the lead right now, sadly enough. We know how that always goes. Yep, there he goes, falling back. We got Prosy and Better falling back now. Pikachu and Mark the Great pushing up. Looks like Itadori's coming up from the rear with Bat Duck. Who else we got? Tijani and Frank pushing up. Pager falling back. Crib falling back. We've got MK pushing up from the back with Salty and Cynthia. Cynthia's the new face that hasn't won yet. That'd be interesting. Who do we got? Looks like Salty's in the lead. Salty falling back. Virion with Grandma Duck chilling right there at the front, but not quite there yet. Mayor falling back. Ferocity trying to push forward. Let's see what we got. Dez coming up from the rear. Dev coming up from the rear. Lots of D names. Let's see if one of them take it. We've got Monche, Womp, the Apex. Let's go. Manual, Monday. Who's going to take it? 20 seconds left. We've got everybody falling back. Damn. Sammy and the Apex in the lead with Soul coming up from the back and Crypto Ball coming up from the back. Who's gonna take? Oh no! Damn, that changed really quick. Derek James pushing up to the front. Derek James hasn't won in a while. Let's see if he's gonna take it. And it looks like Derek James is gonna win. Congratulations, Derek James. All right, ready. We're gonna go for the next one. That's round one. Derek James takes the win there. We're gonna shuffle it up a couple times, and then we're gonna get going for the next one. Ready, steady, and quack! Yes, you are, Mayor. I did it. I did it off a snapshot for the names. So why does it keep doing that? I'm gonna have to find another way to do the picks because some of the names are turning into stars, and that's a problem. All right, we've got a minute and a half. Please don't let the star win. I don't know who the hell that is. So I don't want to have to try to figure that out. That's gonna be a royal pain in the. We've got Prosy and ETH King in the lead. We've got Jelko down there. He's kind of up front right now. I don't know. The front runners usually fall back though. We've got Johnny White pushing up. TJ, Jay. We got a couple people moving up to the front real quick. Taco with Old Man Duck. Let's see. MK, Cynthia pushing up again, but so far no luck. MK pushing up to the front, holding the front right now. We've got 28 seconds left, and MK falls back. Epsilon keeping pretty steady with Virion up there in the front. Who else do we have? And everybody falls back. 17 seconds left. Clover in the lead. We've got a pink star duck coming up. That's Mark the Great and Johnny White. Who are we going to have take this win? 6 seconds left. Oh, and it shifts again. Mark the Great pushing up front. Tears coming up from the rear. And the Apex takes it there. Congratulations, the Apex. Congratulations. It is hard to see any names in there, Emmy. Any names in there. Ready, steady, and whack! This last winner so far, we've got the Apex and Derek James. The Apex and Derek James. All right, minute and 13 seconds left for our last winner. Let's see who's going to take it. We've got Your Study pushing up from the rear. We've got, looks like, ooh, who's that? Hoshigami pushing up from the rear, but pushing up way too early at a minute left. I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain that lead. We've got Sieg pulling up. We've got Neroff. We've got a couple other people. Let's see. Lots of people pushing forward. Damn. Who's going to take it? 40 seconds left. We got Arabo, Hoshigami, and Oma holding lead. Johnny White, MD, and Tajani pushing up. We've got. Who do we got? Anybody pushing forward from the rear? It looks like Quinn is pushing up pretty hard. So is Dev. 27 seconds left. It's still anyone's game. What do we got? What do we got? Devin Quinn, everybody falling back. Arkansas in the lead. Come on, Arkansas! Let's get your first genuine win. No, don't fall back. 10 seconds left, and everything's shifting again. Everybody's speeding up. Tijani pushing for the front. Pikachu pushing for the front. Looks like Tijani's congratulations, Tijani. The first genuine win is crazy. Creon gave her the win the other day, Velocity. So that's why I was gonna say first genuine win. But yeah. So we've got our three winners. Nope, three winners. That's it. I'm talking about five winners for the contest at the end of the week, rather than the winners across the week. So it's going to consistently be three winners each day. But at the end of the week, when we do the contest and we do the drawings and stuff like that, there's going to be five people after for this next contest that's coming up. And I'm also going to be able to do it where there's periodically going to be higher prizes. So it's not necessarily always going to be the same pricing. We're going to be. I got to turn the duck off. Hold on. Got to turn the duck off. Quack. Bye, quacks. When reveal? What reveal? What reveal, Velocity? What reveal? Or are we talking about the winners from the last week? Yeah, Halo. You've definitely got a snail. Um, Oh, the winners for last week? Yeah. Those I'm going to be saying today, a little bit later. We're going to be doing the post roast on Wednesday. So I'm going to give the winners today. Maddox is having too much fun back there. Remember, Tijani, the Apex, and Derek, open up a ticket with your ERC20 USDT wallet address. I think what we're gonna start doing actually is if your wallet is also a BNB address or a BSC address, we can start doing it where people are gonna win higher and lower prizes. So for the lower prizes, probably be better off using Binance just because it saves some money on gas for you guys. So I think we're gonna start taking the Binance addresses from this point as well. Just to give you guys a heads up. That way you guys can add the right addresses and we can save you guys some money on some gas fees. 10 and under for me, I can't see doing Ethereum because it's just so expensive. And I want to try to save you guys as much money as I can from your winnings. But yeah, so that was it for the duck races. That was it for Canva 101. I'm actually going to turn the live off here. I appreciate everybody that tuned in on X. I appreciate everybody that hopped in to be a friend today from random places. www.discord.gg/CGN friends. Come be a friend. We do the Guildhall educational courses with Maddox every other Monday. So Maddox won't be here next Monday, but the Monday after that he will. And he'll be bringing us some other wonderful tidbits of information and knowledge for us to learn, grow, and potentially earn along the way. So yeah, thank you guys. Bye.
Thanks.